be behind me. You're not welcome here. And you know that. Evil was everywhere. And you know that. Evil was everywhere. You're not welcome here. Evil was everywhere. And you know that. Evil was everywhere. You're not welcome here. In Jesus' name.
Hey, everybody. We are back. It's Travis Piegler with Christian Slay Films. Satan Get Deep Behind Me, the podcast. As always, here with Big Brother L. What's up, L Dog?
Oh, not much, man. How you doing today?
Voice of Revelation. Doing good, man. Blessed. It's glad to be back.
Yes, sir.
For a little bit, so just so thankful to be back. Coming to you with this first episode, powerful episode. We have a special guest with us today, Dustin Duddy Heath. Just an incredible human being, incredible biceps, incredible traps. But also, he's another brother in Christ. I look up to him a lot. Met him when we worked at U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and we just always stayed in touch. So, Dustin, go ahead, man. Introduce yourself to the people.
Hello, I'm Dustin. A little embarrassed by that intro, but I'm good.
That's what you work hard for, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But no, man, I'm just glad to have you on here. But yeah, just tell a little bit of people about yourself as far as how you grew up.
Well, I'll start with, of all the things you mentioned that I've built, I think the relationship with Christ is by far the best. And that started when I was really young. As long as I can remember, I was sitting in my grandmother's living room, and it was Easter. And I was quite young. I don't know how young. I wasn't in school yet, so we're talking probably 3 or 4 maybe. And for whatever reason, they had, it's Easter was the reason, but they had a movie on there. Jesus was being crucified and, flogged and everything. And I was watching it like, not scared, but I felt so bad. Like, what is wrong? Why are they doing this to this man? I had no concept of what was happening. And my grandmother, being the rock star she is, goes, oh, well, that's Jesus, and he's doing this because he loves you. Wow, he's going to do that because of me? And she was like, look, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Goosebumps. Yeah. And he would do it just for me, and for everybody. That's how nice he was. I remember, I can see her saying that plain as day. And never let go of that. I never, of all the things I've been through, I've never let go of the fact that he did that for me.
Right.
And that was a big basis of all the things I've been through, just never forgetting him.
Yeah. So that definitely had a powerful impact, something that words your grandmother instilled in you, and that you just never forgot. That's powerful. You say he's about 3 or 4?
I want to say it was about that age because I wasn't in school. I was so young. I just remember being so low in the TV, like that little boxy TV looking so huge because I was like so close to the floor, sitting on the floor. And and my grandmother was amazing. She was pretty much who raised me. She was the person who I had every reason to be like the bitter person. You know what I mean? Could have been the mad person. She was married to a man who was an alcoholic, who was very abusive, who could not keep it together on a dairy farm, so she had to do most of the work. And with that came a really strong woman who raised my dad and me. And so she's technically my great-grandmother because she was married off so young during the Depression. But yeah, she was a rock star, and she was there through all this stuff. And she could have been the most bitter person on earth, but she wasn't. She loved everyone, never took it personally. Would still pray before meals, even though people would mock her. But she still had, she was Episcopal, so she had the crucifix up in her bedroom, and she didn't care who made fun of her for that. It was really weird because the non-believers like to make fun of the believers, right? So, but no, she was the rock star of my life, hands down. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say it was that moment that kind of led you to Christ and you stayed there, or did your parents have a hand in that?
So, so I did harass my parents to start going to church a lot after that, and I asked to be baptized, but I was denied that. I was told I had to go to church before I just went and got according to my parents, I just went and got baptized. So I started going to church a lot, and it was the one little church in Sherman, Maine. I think it's changed names a handful of times. I mean, there was one little church in the whole town, and I did get baptized. I think it was around the age of 10 or so, 8 or 10, and it was just a basic thing. And then after that, it was like my mother was not the nicest person, so she would be, if you couldn't do a lot of everything fully and completely, she wasn't going to waste her time with it. So unless I was willing to go like the pre-thing in church and Sunday school, when you get to a certain age, it's kind of boring because you're cutting and pasting and you're like, I could just read the Bible and get this at home. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so there was like a 6 hour of my day on a Sunday, and it's like I didn't like school. So I was like, I don't really want to do the whole thing. Well, then you got doing any of it. And then church was essentially banned from my house. We weren't allowed to go to church anymore. That was it. We weren't allowed to listen to Christian. I don't know the reasoning, but pretty much Christian music and church was banned in my home growing up, and we weren't allowed to listen to any of it or be a part of any of it. I remember just kind of like sneaking out to kind of go to my friend's house. We went to like revivals at the high school and stuff just to be around God.
How old was you then?
We were probably like 15, 16. I remember a group coming to the school who were missionaries and just wanted to convert people. And I was like, I kind of want all in on that. and I did. I went. And actually, my friend Lacey Willett and I went together. And we both were the first ones when they said, who wants to step forward? We ran forward to be with Christ. We ran forward together. I remember that plain as day. And my memory's pretty bad for all the blows to the head. And I remember that plain as day. You know?
I got you.
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. So growing up, you said you grew up on a farm. How was life growing up on the farm there?
Hard.
I bet.
Yeah, there's a dairy farm in northern Maine. So we're talking you milk the cows twice a day, every day, no days off. And that was my father's primary goal. That was his job. We had every other job, but being the youngest, you get the worst jobs. You get the shoveling of the manure and all of that. It was hard. My grandmother knew it was hard. She would try to make the most of it for all of us. But she, when I was very young, was like, I don't want to see you stay here. I don't really want you to be smart. I want you to do something else. So at a very young age, around the time I realized who Jesus was, I actually, at that young age, she started having me read and learn everything I could learn, because she had to drop out of school at such a young age that she was like, because of the depression and everything. So she was like, I want you to be smart. And I still don't feel I'm that smart, but it's like, she's like, I want you to go into college and do these things and just do something that's not this farm. And I said, okay. And my father kind of said that too in passing one time, like, this isn't going to be here for you, so you might as well figure something out, go to college or do something. But my senior year was 9/11, so I wanted to go in the military. That was my big thing. And she was like, having every brother that she had in World War II, and I think one got shot down and lived even. She was like, yeah, no, why don't you go to college and then go kill yourself? Kind of that. She was so mad at me even thinking of the thought. And she passed away in 2003, and I did. I graduated college, and then I went in the military. So, but yeah, there was a very hard upbringing, very tough upbringing, dairy farming for sure.
Yeah. Interesting.
Maybe if it was more like the Waltons, everybody got along, it would have been a lot nicer, but it was not like that.
Yeah, so growing up, did you have any siblings or anything?
I had a half brother growing up from my mother's first marriage.
Ooh, man.
We had a lot of cousins my mother's family was big and very dysfunctional, so we had a lot of cousins come live with us off and on for a few years. And, you know, you'd have, I don't want to seem like I'm talking back because I'm really not, it's just facts, but you'd have an aunt who would be like in a mental institution off and on, or the rampant abuse in my family growing up. No one talked about it. I received every type of abuse you can imagine. I mean, I'm not saying my parents did that. I'm just saying it was in my family, and I received all of it, from physical to emotional, sexual, both sexes actually. yeah, so it was a really rough upbringing to be where I was, dealing with what I was dealing with. But my grandmother was very much just like, I think she could feel that bad things were happening away from the cocoon when I was around her. And that's why I think she wanted me to go away so badly, not to keep circling back to my grandmother, but she was a big reason why I just never gave up the faith. You know what I mean? Of all my tattoos I have one on my leg of my grandmother. Everything else is blackout and symbols, but I have Jesus and her dates on my leg. So that's the only legible tattoo I have is Jesus and her dates, on my leg.
Yeah. You mentioned, and just, it's a heavy topic. Abuse.
Sorry.
And no, you're fine, man. But whatever you're comfortable with, you said you suffered physical abuse at a young age?
Oh, yeah.
What type of...
Not from my grandmother.
I
Never.
mean,
not from her. No, never.
Yeah. I know she was your safe place.
Yeah. I think I told you the story about how I didn't realize how bad my childhood was till actually he'll appreciate Batman, the Batman story.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, that's a good story, yeah.
So when the disconnect to my parents, I didn't realize how bad it was, the lack of love. I didn't realize the disconnect that badly until I was an adult watching Batman Begins in the theater. And I'd always grown up, I love Batman, and I love Batman. But that kid portrayed his love for his parents so strongly. I was like, oh, as a child, I thought Batman was just mad at the senseless violence. See, I was so disconnected that I didn't realize parents love you. Like, I was so disconnected. I was just like, oh, he just doesn't want senseless violence in his city. I didn't connect that his parents were murdered. Like, and that traumatized him. See, because all I ever knew was I never felt safe with my parents. I never felt a sense of love from my parents. My mother, certain times, would just as soon close hand punch me for talking back than answer a question I had. So for me, it was like, oh, parents love you? That's why? I had no idea. I was so, and when kids, I'd be in college, for instance, like, sorry if this is a tangent, I didn't mean to, but this came to me. This just came to me. When I was in college, my second year of college, I met a girl named Mackenzie. And Mackenzie was like, she was dating a friend of mine. She was an amazing person. He was amazing as well, Matt. And I was always around Matt. Matt was this loving energy. Matt Petrie, just this loving energy. And everybody loved Matt. And he was dating Mackenzie. And Mackenzie comes up to me one day and she just plants this hug on me. Plants it. I do this, my hands up. I'm just, what is this? I have no idea what this is. And she goes, can you put both arms around me and squeeze, please? She goes, that's called a hug. You just given one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I think I ever received a hug. That was probably about 20. Yeah. So, wow, that came out of nowhere. I'm really sorry.
It's okay, man.
But yeah, so there was a complete disconnect, and I didn't realize till I was older. I never felt safe with my parents, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them at all. I forgive them. I've moved past it. Dad's died a while ago. I haven't talked to my mother in many, many years. But it's, yeah, it was a very eye-opening thing, college, because I was so dumbed down, secluded in everything, and just surviving day to day almost, that I had really no social skills or anything. And it's a wonder I made friends, because I was just so like introverted and hiding all the time, really. And I finally came out of my shell and realized, hey, it's okay. It's okay to be you, and it's okay to like what you like, and it's okay to like Jesus, and it's okay to believe what you believe, and and that's yeah. Sorry to go off on that tangent, but it just hit me, the hug thing. I was like, I didn't even receive a hug until I was like 20. It was like, so that explains my parents at all and the lack of love in the home. But my grandmother, she did try very hard, and she did make me feel loved, and I did feel safe with her at times. But it would get counteracted the minute the parents come bombing in the house. But I mean, for a while, you get to forget,
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, that's really heavy, but
Yeah, I'm still just trying to process that, but
I'm sorry.
no, it's what it's about, man. And again, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you share that story and other stories you're going to share with us, because that's what we're here for. Just like what we did with our documentary, Satan Get Thee Behind Me. I mean, it wasn't easy exposing, the vulnerable parts of yourself, family, things you've been through. But the love that we've been getting and receiving, and all the comments and stuff like that on YouTube is, you discovered that sharing your story liberates other people.
Hope so.
Yeah, and that's what we're supposed to do, because it's just all out warfare, man. It's like chaos. And in this crazy world we live in, there's still some beauty. That's what I always say.
There's so much beauty if you know where to look.
Yeah, there's still some beauty. So, what's up, Bill?
Oh man, this over here just doing a lot of thinking. Before I leave here today, there's a few things I want to put on the table that I've been holding inside for about 50 years. Wow.
I'm sorry if I dropped to be
Oh,
honest.
no. You're good, man. You're good. I'm glad you're here, to be honest with you. I'm glad you're here, most definitely. I know this hadn't come up. I don't know if it was planning on coming up. But on my way here today, I'm a free man. And I say that because when you're mentally, physically, sexually abused as a child, first of all, who you going to tell that to? And those you do tell, they just brush it off like it's just another day. You trust nobody. You push family away. You don't have friends. You're lonely. I'm here today to tell y'all that I've been sexually abused, physically abused as a child. And I carry that around with me for about 50 years. And today is the day I'm going to let that go.
Amen.
Wow.
And there is a such thing This wasn't my plan today. I had other things to do, other things to plan on doing. This came out of nowhere. God told me today. I didn't come to him. He told me, today's your day. You're going to be released. You will be no longer incarcerated by what happened to you years ago. You're a free man. And for those of you that's out there, that's going through that or has been through that, when I tell you, I understand. I understand. I don't know why God picked this day for me to let that go, to set me free. But I do believe he did that to get that out my way. Because he got another plan for me.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't plan on telling that either. It just kind of flew out. And then I saw your face. I was like, I was really rude. I hurt your feelings.
Oh, no. This been a long time coming. I was just holding it back.
Me too.
Didn't want to share it.
Same.
Enough's enough already. Let them know. There's others out there, man, that's probably going through the same thing that I'm going through.
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out the table, man. And
Yeah, I thank both you guys for your
today's going to be a good day.
courage and coming forward. And it started with you, Dustin. So by you sharing it's already happening.
Yeah, it's already happening
And
already, brother.
he's never told
told
nobody, man. And like I say, he's my older brother. So
Yeah. So you inspired me
Oh,
just by showing up. Not one word said, just by you seeing you and meeting you today.
because it's just weird when you only hear that you're like never enough and you're not creative and you're not this, you're not that. And then you step into a studio and just share a story and you are enough for somebody. I've never had that. That's crazy. May the 4th be with us. Goodness.
Oh, man.
Especially, and I just want to say that
Yeah, we're hugging after this. You know that, right?
You can count on that. Man, this is crazy.
I don't know I don't know how you train, Dustin, but how much do you bench? You know what your max is, or if you had to guess?
Ever?
Yeah.
390.
390. So we got the 6'2", weigh 212?
Yep.
Wow.
Bench 390. Man, that just revealed to the world, as many people is going to see this, is that, he had trauma and abuse, physically, sexually, mentally growing up as a child. And as men, sometimes our society, especially the way we grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s, in those times taught to hold things in. You got to be tough. You got to be strong. But men got feelings too. We're not robots. We're not robots.
We're human beings too.
Yeah. And a lot of times you feel like the way we was raised, you can't express that vulnerability to another man because it'll make you seem weak. But it's nothing weak about it.
No.
It's weak holding in the tears.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy, because you're afraid to let it go. So if you're such a man, don't be afraid to let it go. Let those tears flow. It's cleansing in that.
Yeah.
So I ain't afraid to admit it. I cry a lot. Mostly when I'm alone, but yeah, I cry. I do a lot of cleansing in my house.
Man.
But it's a release. It's a stress reliever. Stress is down. Blood pressure is good. Done lost some weight. So
You look great, by the way.
thank you. Some of y'all watching this season, hey, is that the same? It's still Travis. I'm about 50 pounds lighter.
I couldn't believe it. You look amazing.
Give or take. And then about another 2 years, I'll be looking like Dustin there.
Oh. I hope so.
No, I'm just kidding. I just work out now just to try to be healthy. And if I get a couple veins popping out the biceps, out the deal, then it is what it is. Well, good stuff, guys.
Man.
I was gonna say, so the way you grew up, Dustin, and you explained that you didn't receive your first hug until college. That was mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
So mind blowing. So what? You went to college, and how did you get into wrestling? For those that people don't know, this guy's a extreme wrestler, good wrestler. He's been wrestling for how many years now?
Started when I was a teenager.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So how did you cross over into that? Was that more of like a hobby or like a release to get away? Or?
It was so, to be perfectly honest, when I was young, I wanted to be a dancer.
Oh wow.
I loved Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson to me was amazing. And then my grandmother loved do you ever see like the Lord of the Dance on PBS? Like they did the clog dancing. And she thought that was the coolest thing ever. And it is cool. So I was like, man, if I could be a cool dancer, I'd make my grandmother really happy because she likes watching these dance shows and she likes all that. And let's just say when I presented that to my parents, I wanted to dance, I was greeted with not the most positive feedback. It was told that's for, expletives, homosexual expletives. And I was like, okay, well, then what can I do? And they just basically didn't help. And so I was like, well, what if I reading Batman, Dick Grayson was in the circus. I was like, well, maybe if I could just run away and join the circus. Not many circuses come to Maine to run away and join. So I was like, I don't know what to do. And watching TV one day, because up in Maine, we didn't get like many channels for the longest time. Most of our wrestling was Canadian wrestling, if anything. Because we had like 4 channels on the border, And but I think my uncle, my grandmother's brother, brought a tape from the big city of Bangor because he had a satellite dish, and I think he brought a tape of early WCW NWA, and it was Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat. And Ric Flair comes out with the hair and the robe and the girls and the woos, and I'm like, I can't relate to that guy at all. And there was really no one in that show I could relate to at that point. And then Ricky Steamboat came out with the gi and the headband, and he kind of looked like me a little bit. And I was like, huh, that's me. That guy's kind of like me. And he goes out there, and the crowd loved him, and he was Ric Flair's cheating every way, and Ricky Steamboat won. And I'm like, I want to do this. And I thought it was real. So I started taking martial arts left and right because he came out with a gi on. Yeah. So I was practicing martial arts. I took every martial arts class I could find. Got to about 13, went to my first independent wrestling show. And I started lifting weights religiously at like 10 because I was like, I want to be a wrestler. That's my way out of this farm, out of this life. I'm going to make it on TV someday. I'm going to be a big wrestler. I'll show everybody. And I went to my first show. I was about 13 with a bunch of friends, 13, 14. And the guys were like, I saw the guys not really hitting each other and stuff. And I was kind of like, and I saw it was like acting. And I'm like, wait a second. And I talked to the guy. I'm like, can I do this if I train? Because I just heard about training. I'm like, oh, absolutely. Do you want to? Because I was, at the time, was a beanpole, but I was 6 feet. I was taller than all the wrestlers. And they're like, are you interested? And I'm like, oh, absolutely. Like, well, you got to be 18. I'm like, yeah, I'm 18. I'm 18. And they're like, okay, well, then their school was like in New Hampshire or something way away. And I was like, well, I can't go there. And RPW had just started by the time I was old enough to drive in Bangor, Rampage Pro Wrestling, started by a guy named Kenneth Banks. And I got really in good with a guy in that group named Bull Moose Calhoun was his name. And I kid you not, he was 7'2", 462. Wow. In Bangor, Maine. Brian Sanborn, I believe was his true name. I heard a while ago he passed, God rest his soul, but he was really nice to me. And he was huge. And obviously. And I got in pretty good with him because no one wanted to take his stuff because he was huge. And he was kind of older when he got into wrestling, so he wasn't the most coordinated, pretty stiff, as they call him in the business. Someone who beats you up a little bit. But I wanted to wrestle so bad. So I was going to these shows to watch them, but I was actually working the shows as either a bodyguard. I did one as a bodyguard. I did one where I just got squashed by, he just powerbombed me out of nowhere. I was security or whatever. But I was getting the experience, and I was getting the... So by the time I got to college, I kind of knew how to wrestle, so I was wrestling. And I was not going to graduate college, and I knew it. And I promised my grandmother I'd graduate college, so I did. And I got really into wrestling again, and I went in the military. And then when I got out of the military, I was like, what do I want to do? And it was kind of like, we're back in Maine. I couldn't really do anything. So I chased a master's degree working for the government. And then I was like, where can I go where wrestling's a thing? I'm getting close to 40 years old. I'm running out of the window, and I want to wrestle on TV, and I know I can do it. So I took a promotion in Indianapolis, knowing that OVW was down the road. So I kind of still partially trained and did shows here and there. But then when I moved out here and I got in the best shape of my life in 2020, and I'm like, 2019, I'm like, we're going to do this at 36, 7 years old. I'm going to redo wrestling in my life. COVID.
Yeah.
So that went away for about a year. So I was like, okay, I'll just stay in shape. I'll study the craft. And I went and I retrained after COVID. And then that fall, I was on OVW on TV for 6 months. That next spring, and I had a small role in the Netflix show.
Okay.
So it was basically, I started as a dream. I was kind of forced to give up the dream. Sorry, it's such a long answer.
No, it's
and I was
fine.
kind of forced to give up the dream. And then it was like, but I refused to give up on the dream. And that's when I came, when you met me and I was full blown in it. That's why I was so every weekend.
Yeah.
Well, when I met you, actually, we were working together. I was wrestling Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah. He was he was on the road a lot.
Yeah, I was Thursday at OVW, Friday, whatever show I'd pick up. Sometimes it was Supreme in Madison, and then Saturday was usually Supreme in Madison, and then Sunday was Memphis TV. And then I would drive back. You get home around 3 a.m, sleep 2 hours, and go to work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that was a lot of weeks I was doing that.
Sheesh.
I just really wanted to make it. I really wanted to not. You heard my upbringing. I mean, I've been working for 40 years pretty much. And I was like, I just want to do what I want to do. And I knew I could do it, but just my body is just at this point, just I can't hold up anymore. So that's why I segued to other things. So
Yeah.
it was a performance art that I loved. And I loved wrestling growing up. The only reason I don't watch it now is Tony Atlas, when I was training, said, don't watch wrestling. And I was like, why? He goes, it's awful. He goes, and you'll just pick up bad habits. If you want to watch something, he goes, watch from the 90s and before. He goes, but you don't watch wrestling if you work for me. Okay. I wanted to work for him, so I stopped watching wrestling.
Wow.
Haven't really watched wrestling in 20 years. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Who doesn't want to work for Tony Atlas? I mean, come on.
Question for you.
Sure.
Duddy, what kept you going when things didn't move as fast as you hoped?
With
Like the wrestling, like.
faith. I just knew I could do it. I knew, and I know I didn't have any great like WWE success, but I mean, I was the top heel at Memphis TV for 2 years, and I was on OVW for 6 months, and I recently just wrapped up at EPW in Mississippi TV. So I didn't like achieve my full dreams, but like when things were down and dour, and I mean, I'm not perfect. I had a really bad, I'm post-military. I had a really bad bout with alcoholism for 2 years. I almost died from it. Yeah, and that was me giving up on my dreams and not losing my faith and everything. But that's the version of me that was there. And I kind of snapped out of it. I almost died in the hospital from pancreatitis. Yeah, not my proudest moment. And when I got out, I was kind of like, I almost died like 3 times in the hospital. One time my blood pressure was like 190 over 140 detoxing off alcohol. Like, yeah, it was rough. So, and I just got out there, I'm like, what are you doing? You had all this faith up until this point, and then you just gave up. And then I was like, and I got back into church, and I joined the Knights of Columbus. And when the minute opportunity for wrestling came up, I was like, I'm going for it. No more excuses. Be a man, step up. And honestly, it was just a lot of, God put you here. Why are you wasting it?
Right.
Why are you wasting the time? You have this body that is capable of things if you would just pull your head out of your rear end and refine your relationship with Christ and get the elbow grease and get back to work. And that's what I did. But mainly it was just not letting go of the fact that I'm here. There's got to be a reason. God put me here for a reason.
Right.
I've been through so much. Why would he put me through all of that just to waste away on a couch of drinking? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah, you got plans for you.
Yeah.
Good plans.
Sometimes you don't realize that until you're like in your 40s, and you're like, oh yeah. That's the thing I learned when I was like 4.
That's why they say wait on the Lord. When he's ready for you to have that, you will know. Count on it.
Interesting.
Yes, sir.
And that happened. You went through that post-military.
The drinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it.
82nd Airborne, weren't you?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah, and you were too, right? Yeah.
82nd Airborne, baby.
Yep.
Might not look like it, but once upon a time I was a soldier.
Yeah. Yeah, me and my brother both were 82nd Airborne. Yep.
Yeah. That's cool. Life in the 82nd was
Stressful?
it was hard. Yeah, it was hard. I tell people serving there, man, is like, you can do 4 years, it might feel like 6 or 7 years, even though you did 4. It's just hard. Because that's like the only unit, like, ran every day. Like, we ran every day. Like, every day. We ran PT. But yeah, it's just rough, but survived it. So, Dustin, where you are in your career right now, would you say you're summing it up to the end, or you're done, or you think you got another match in you, or you?
I mean, I won all kinds of matches left in me. I really do. My only concern is I'll be 43 in September, which doesn't mean anything. Like I said, my Uncle George, I was talking about George South, he still wrestles. Like, he's not real my uncle, I call him Uncle George. Speaking of warrior in Christ, shout out to George South. He still goes and he's in his 60s. My big concern is if my back gives out mid-move, I might hurt somebody. And I don't want to hurt anybody else. I mean, if I get hurt, that's the risk I'm willing to take. I blew out my knee in the ring. It is what it is. But hurting somebody else because I'm not capable of doing something, to me, is pretty unacceptable, reason to hurt somebody in the ring. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to use the R word of retired, but I'm definitely on injured reserve, I guess, right now.
Right.
So
yeah. Like, have you thought about, like, you still might be able to do some things where you're not as physical in the ring, but you can still, like, kind of be a part of the business? Is that, are you looking at that or just stepping away?
Do I have that discipline to not get in the ring? Yeah, he's shaking his head. He's like, no, you don't have that discipline. Yeah, so I'd probably not. For safety reasons, probably.
It's in your blood, man. It's in your blood.
I don't think I have the discipline to not get in there and bounce around with the guys. I don't think I can. I'm a wrestler. I'm a performer, but when I get in that ring, I'm a wrestler. I don't want to be a ref. I don't want to be a manager. I used to hate when my buddies would tag. I was in part of a 6-man group. Yeah. I have a 3-man group. I'm for 6-man tags. And we didn't do 6-man tags, just regular tags. I had to stay on the outside. I hated it. I hated every moment of it because, like, I want to be in the ring. That's what I work so hard for. I'll just lay in the ring before shows. I just lay in there.
Wow.
I just
taking it all in, the essence.
I work so hard to just get in this ring. And I'll just lay in there before shows. Don't talk to anybody. Just lay.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. When people hear your story, what do you hope that they walk away with?
Hope. Because I know, unfortunately, like, my story is far too common with just really rampant abuse in your life. It just seems to be a common theme. I'll meet people and they have similar stories, and they haven't talked to anybody, and they are holding it in, or they haven't found. I've met so many people who go through that, and I don't know in your life if you found this, but people who go through similar experiences, it's almost they turn away from God. They go to paganism, they go to witchcraft, they go to all these other things, and that's been a big thing I've noticed. Is I've met people on this walk of being a Christian who are, of course, no, I don't judge. If you want to be whatever you want to be, that's fine. I wish you would see the light. I can't force you. But I knew people who were like witches, who were devout Christians before, and like, oh, bad things happen. He hates me, and they go to witchcraft, and I've seen that have the disastrous effects. So if anyone can hear my story, I'd be like, hey, that's not as tantalizing as it seems. Put the work into you, read the Bible, go to church, meet some cool people. And I know that I know people have a negative connotation with religious people. I get that. But so did Jesus. They killed him. Okay? Religious people killed Jesus. I get they can be bad too, but not all religious people are bad. Find good ones. You know what I mean? Get out of those circles of that aren't helping you. You know what I mean? And I'll ask people in those circles, like, who gave up hope on Christ and stuff. I'm like, what are you getting from this pagan group or these apps that you swipe right to please yourself for 15 minutes? What are you getting out of that? You don't get it. Correct. I don't. So I hope they get hope.
Yeah, and deep down, they don't get it either.
No. And it's sad. Some beautiful people. I'm not just physically, but I've seen people with beautiful souls giving them away. Why are you giving away such a beautiful soul to something that doesn't even love you?
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
That's powerful, man.
Like, you have a beautiful soul and you're giving it to a tree god or a
pagan. Or
I mean, I don't understand.
Wow.
And people who I really cared about just would beg them, please, try, but you lead the horse to water.
Right.
But
it's always an interesting concept when you hear stories of somebody that used to be a believer, but then they turn away. And then I question, like, was you really a believer?
If it was that easy, yeah.
I don't know.
If someone tells you they love you, but they break up with you and walk away, and you never hear from them again, it's like, did you really love me?
Right,
Yeah.
Or did you just like the things I was doing for you? Was it like a transactional relationship? And then as soon as I couldn't provide or do for you anymore, then you just left.
And it feels like all people with their faith, it's very like how people like twist it. You know, like I don't think that's what God meant. I'm reading it right here. I think that's what he meant. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's what he meant.
Yeah.
You know, and I know no one's perfect. I'm far from perfect. And anyone who thinks I'm on here being like sanctimonious or like, oh, I'm so great. No, I am flawed,
Right. We all are.
fallen,
Yeah.
broken. Seriously.
Right. But you still came here, and that's what I appreciate is that we all are, but we can't let the enemy beat us down.
No.
To silence us, because that's what he wants. So never be ashamed, whatever you're going through. Like I did in the promo leading up that I posted, like, just put your best foot forward, Nobody's perfect. We're all fallible human beings, but don't give up. And at the end of the day, God knows you. He knows your heart. And he knows what you're going to be. He knows who, what you're going to do later on in life, that it's not where you are right now. Bill, did you have anything?
Yeah, I just want to say something real quick, real short. As you were speaking, I was trying to think of something to say, and God just put it on my heart just to go ahead and say it. For those of you and us that think that God is not paying attention to you, you're wrong. And I'm going to close with that one.
And I was one of those people for a long time who thought he wasn't paying at all attention.
You just put that on my heart just to mention that to whoever was listening or paying attention.
Even coming here today, I was like, why does Travis want me on this podcast? I have nothing to offer. I don't understand.
He's paying attention.
Oh, you have a lot to offer, man. We might need to have you on again, but another question I have for you,
Sure.
Dustin, is
I'll stop being so long-winded.
oh, it's fine, man. What would you say to someone who's still trying to figure out what they're called to do?
Trying to figure out what they're called to do. I would say the only way to figure it out is you got to ask the big guy, right? I mean, you got to ask the big guy upstairs, like, what's my purpose? And you're not going to hear it immediately. He's not going to text you tomorrow. It's like I tell people, like, when people get really nitpicky about, I ever meet people who are like, well, I'm a Baptist, I'm Methodist, well, we're better, or our church is better, our church. I'm always kind of like, dude, the Holy Spirit's like God's Wi-Fi. As long as you believe, you will receive. So it doesn't matter what building you're in. So I would say just ask the big guy, what's my purpose? And ask it all the time. Don't ask him once, will you an answer, walk away. Are you doing the things you need to, you got free will. Are you doing what you need to do? Are you eating the right foods? Are you exercising? Because believe it or not, that gets your mind right. That gets your emotions right. So when people say, I struggle with depression, I absolutely do. But before I give into the depression aspect, I'm like, okay, did I do the pillars? Did I eat the good foods? Did I get a good enough rest? Am I consuming too much social media? Did I even pray today? Am I checking the boxes before I give into mental illness? And that's one of the things I think a lot of people don't do. Check some boxes and then ask God what your purpose is. If you don't hear it immediately, check some more boxes, ask again later, and do the work. Because he's not going to give it to you. Did anyone give me wrestling? I never really truly got it, but I tried. And I'm not bitter. I didn't make it at all. I had some really cool experiences.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say you did made it though, man. You might not have made it to the high level that you wanted to, but you were working, traveling.
I was having fun.
Yeah, made it on TV, met some cool people, man.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Met Tommy Dreamer, broke his kendo stick in a match. Loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, I remember Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, I love Tommy. Rhino let me dump him out of the Battle Royal. Like, I had a great time.
Yeah.
So much fun. I mean, I was the head bad guy. I couldn't even get gas within the Memphis city limits without getting harassed. That's when you know everybody hates you.
Yeah.
I did a good job.
They were good.
Yeah, I can't be too mad, right?
Good hill. But I would say too, man, that's powerfully said. What you said about checking the boxes before giving up, because a lot of people don't do that, and so that's good. It's almost like being your own therapist in a way. It's like, okay, am I eating the right foods? Did I exercise? Did I sleep? Like that's being self-aware, and realizing that you got to put it all together. Because if you're not healthy, how can God use you if you're tired all the time? Or if you can barely walk up the steps, or if you know what I mean? Because you're just consuming so much sugar, which is the killer. I would say the number one killer.
Oh, absolutely. It's a drug.
Yeah. And they're putting more sugar and glucose, in everything. Things that sugars and things that you wouldn't even think of being there. Like ketchup.
yeah, sugar-free ketchup now. It doesn't make any sense.
Sugar ketchup.
May I take what you said a step further, though? If you look at what a therapist does, what do they have you do? Ask yourself a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
That's why I argue with everybody, like, when they gave me a hard time, because I did go to therapy post-military. It did not help. So I started basically just diving into faith, and that's what really helped me with the drink. I've never been to an AA meeting. Not one. Don't need to. I don't even think about drinking. There's wine in my house. Do I look at it? Do I touch it? It's there. Do I care? No. It doesn't bother me a bit. It's because I have faith in it. And if you go to like a counselor about that, how do you feel? You can't ask yourself how you feel. Did you check the boxes? You know what I'm saying? That's all a therapist is doing. I'm not making fun of therapy. If you need therapy, you need therapy. There's nothing wrong with therapy. Therapy's good for some people.
Yeah.
But are you checking the boxes before you go? Or are you expecting the therapist to check them for you?
Right.
Just like with faith, are you expecting God to check all the boxes for you? Or what boxes are you checking? He's only got about 7 billion people to worry about.
Man.
You know, you got to check some boxes yourself.
Yeah.
Again, not making fun of therapy whatsoever.
Yeah. But no, those are valid points that, and I never looked at it that way. Like a therapist basically forces you to, or try to force you to self-reflect, which a lot of people naturally, I guess they don't know to do that. But yeah, that's interesting, man. That's interesting. In closing, what is one thing that you would tell someone who is scared to chase their passion? Don't be
scared, period. I mean, it says in the Bible all the time, fear not.
Yeah.
Don't go for it. Because let me tell you something. Do you want to live with the fear of failure or the fear of regret? I mean, regret hurts way worse than failure. I know, because technically if you look at my grandiose dreams, I failed. But boy, I tried. And no one can take that from me. What if I never tried? Would I be sitting here?
Yes.
Where would I be?
Right.
What would I be saying to myself? What would I be thinking? How bitter would I be? How angry would I be that I didn't achieve anything at all? Didn't even try. You got to try. And then when you fail, guess what? That's just success training. Try again.
Right.
Keep trying. I failed. Michael Jordan has a great, I'm going to butcher this, but it is from Michael Jordan. He quasi says this. He basically says, I failed and I failed and I failed, but that's why I succeed. And he goes into the logistics of how many shots he took and missed and stuff like that. I can't remember. But he basically says that I failed and I failed and I failed, but that's why I succeeded. Essentially is what Michael Jordan said in that quote. And you can't succeed if you don't fail. And if you get all kinds of success without trying, you end up like Charlie Sheen admits in his documentary. Look at all the drugs he did because he felt like he wasn't worthy because he didn't earn anything. Like Matthew McConaughey says, it tastes a little bit sweeter when you earn it yourself. Just go out and try.
I was just the opposite on that. Always afraid of failing, but I never tried. My whole life, I've always been that way. I feel what's the point of even trying to fail anyway?
I think that's a lot of people, though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I missed out on a whole lot just on that aspect alone, just that thought of me thinking that way.
Are you saying it just made me think about something is that learn to be your own best friend and not your worst enemy. I didn't know that. All that self-doubt.
Yeah. Pretty much. Low self-esteem.
Yeah. Well, it comes from all the abuse and stuff too.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
pretty much. Oh yeah.
I like to think of it kind of like, you remember those old like Looney Tunes cartoons that have the devil on one shoulder and then the angel on the other? I would always, just as a young kid, just whenever those thoughts would come in, just envision myself flicking the demon off the shoulder, keeping the angel. You know what I mean? I was like, because stop it, stop it. You know.
I got you.
Yeah, that's funny. And ain't that interesting that wasn't cartoons?
They used to do, I just realized on YouTube last night, they used to do a lot of those cartoons, they'd be praying before they went to bed and stuff, like Mickey Mouse and Pluto would pray before they got into bed and stuff, and they've yanked all of that out of those cartoons. They were saying the prayers, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray. Yeah, all that was in Looney Tunes. Like it was all those Mickey Mouse cartoons and stuff.
Wow.
There's really, really religious undertones in those. Well, not undertones, they were there in your face. And it was wonderful. And now it's like, if you say God, it's evil in everybody's eyes. It's so crazy to me.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Yep, they was teaching us a lot through cartoons at a young age.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
So, Dustin, man, again, you're in incredible shape.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to build the physique that you have?
Well, I started lifting weights when I was probably around 10 or so when I got interested in wrestling, realizing I had to be a big guy. Yeah.
Okay. And so with all those years of training, I'm hearing that you're working on a book about working out and building killer traps like you have and everything like that. Do you want to go into that a little bit and share your
Sure.
book, what you're working on?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just keep it brief. I just finished the rough draft of the book, but it's about it's called Build Superhero Traps.
Okay.
And
This is right here.
Yep, that's the rough draft, the folder copy.
Okay.
And basically what it is just me going through everything that built my traps. And the thing is with traps is people don't realize how big they are. They're massive. They're the size of your lats, just higher up on your back. And so the reason I was able to get into wrestling so easily was because people think, oh, you're huge. Well, I'm not. I'm only 212 pounds, but I built really big traps to make me look way bigger. And so people were like, oh, well, how do I do that? I'm just doing shrugs. Well, there's a whole dynamic to training your traps to get them big because they're a huge muscle part with 3 different dynamics. And that's all in this book. So that's why when people are like, oh, I walk into the gym and people see me, they start just shrugging like crazy. I'm like, that's only 1/3 of the equation to build big traps.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I was able to get into wrestling as a big guy with only 212 pounds, is I built really big traps without taking, because I didn't want to take a bunch of steroids. I'll be honest. I didn't want to take growth hormones and steroids and any of that crap.
I got you.
But I wanted to make it in wrestling. So I was like, how can I do that? And Brock Lesnar with the huge traps, I was like, there's got to be a way to do that without being that huge. And I just studied anatomy charts and exercises for years, and I finally got the hang of it, and I just built huge traps, and people started nicknaming me Trapzilla, and that just kind of, I ran with that with wrestling. So yeah, so I just wrote a book on it, about 100 pages.
Okay. And in that book, you got a lot of instructions on how to do the exercise and a lot of pictures and things like that?
Yep, every exercise has a photo to show you how to do the exercise, and I'm the model in the photo. Like, it's very much like there's no fluff. There's not 1,000 words to read with no photos. It's all photos and like step-by-step instruction on this page, photo on this page. So you see it, you read it, you know how to do the exercise. You can take it to the gym with you and lay it out and do it.
Okay.
Yeah. That sounds awesome, man. When can people expect to see this book in stores?
Well, it should be coming soon. I'm talking to publishers soon. I just finished the rough draft, and I have it all on my thumb drive. I just have to talk to somebody about publishing it. Yep.
Okay. So possibly sometime this year?
I'm hoping.
Okay.
Very much hoping.
Sounds good. And what's the name of the book again?
Build Superhero Traps.
Awesome, man. Well, Dustin, I want to thank you, man, for coming on.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for your courage. And like I said, it's not easy, but
sorry if I talk too much.
Oh no, this is what it's about. Podcast, man, talking and learning and listening and just thankful that again that you was willing to come on and share your story. And you too, El, for you said 50 years is a long time to hold. 50 years is a long time.
That's a long time.
To hold that in, man. And I would just say that if you are out there struggling with something, men and women, and especially if you are a man, confide in somebody that you trust, that you know loves you, got your back. Let it out.
Got to.
Set yourself free. Liberate yourself.
It's not your fault that someone took the love you had for them and used it to destroy you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
You say that one more time.
It's not your fault that someone used the love you gave them and they turned around and used it to destroy you. It is not your fault.
Wow.
And that's what love is. It's giving someone the power to do whatever they can to you and hoping they won't do it. And the evil ones do.
That's some profound stuff.
Sorry, man. I think really deep.
Yeah.
Nah,
We call that premeditated.
So, Dustin, say that one more time.
Which one? Which one do you want me to say?
About the love.
Okay, so
that's deep.
Love is giving someone the power to destroy you and hoping that they won't. So it's not, if someone abused you, it is not your fault that you gave them the power that you gave them all the love in the world and they turned around and used it against you. It's not your fault.
You talking about a stab in the back?
It's not. It's just is, because that's what love is. You give someone all the power in the world to destroy every part of you, and hoping they won't, because you would never do it to them. Right. And that's what abuse is. They take the love and they hurt you with it, and it's not your fault. That is betrayal. That's not your fault.
That's powerful, man. So powerful. But with that being said, guys, thank you for joining us for season 2, episode 1. See you next time. Stay tuned. God bless. Peace.
Satan, get thee behind me. You're not welcome here. And you know that. Evil, 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 evil.